What'd you make of the Lions win on Monday Night Football, Mark?
Man, they are so talented, especially offensively. And that first week of the season, we talked about the lack of continuity, new coordinators, all those different things. And, it looked to be what happened week one. But since that point, man, they have been on point offensively. And, just a tip of the cap to Jared Goff. And I've done so many Detroit games over the years and had such a relationship with not only Ben Johnson, but, you know, obviously Dan Campbell, their head coach, and talked to Jared Goff many, many times. Jared Goff, when you talk to the powers that be in Detroit, they rave about his accuracy and just his toughness in the pocket. And there's a guy that can't run away from anybody, right? But can slide in the pocket, manipulate, and how he throws the ball into traffic as good as any quarterback in football. And if we're breaking down top 10 quarterbacks in the league, I don't know that he makes the top five, but he's somewhere between 6 and 8, 6 and 9. He is that damn good at what he does, and they've surrounded him with great players. But his ability to operate that offense, be accurate with the football. Yesterday, it was the run game that really set them apart. And, as much as we talk about Detroit, you look at what's going on with the Baltimore Ravens here, lost that game to the Bills where they gave up over 40 in week one. And then here again, close to 40, 38 points they gave up again just 3 weeks or in week three. So, like, the Ravens were a team that I think we all thought, hey, man, this is a Super Bowl contender. If you don't figure out what's going on the defensive side of the ball, and two really good opponents, to be sure, but, the Baltimore Ravens right now, you're kind of wondering what's going on there.
Yeah, 96 points they've allowed through 3 games. That's the most in franchise history through the first 3 games of the season. Now it's the Chiefs they're visiting. The Chiefs come off of that win against the Giants. We'll talk about them and their decision that was announced moments ago, or at least reported moments ago, about Jackson Dart. But it's Chiefs-Ravens in Week 4, bud, and that's for the loser goes 1-3. And I'm wondering which one would you be concerned about going 1-3 the most, Mark?
That'd be the Chiefs. And, offensively, we've seen what they've been able to do. They've been a juggernaut for the last, 7, 8 years. I mean, they've been incredible. They're not incredible. And if you ask me to point one thing out offensively they've done well, I can't give you one thing that they've done well.
Right.
They haven't blocked anybody well. They don't run the ball well. I mean, going into last weekend, Patrick Mahomes was their leading rusher. So they don't really block anybody. Andy Reid has never really wanted to win by running the football. That's never been his thing. You saw the blow up on the sideline with Travis Kelce and Andy Reid, and Travis just does not look like he's got the same burst at the top of his route. That hasn't gone well, and you don't have a go-to guy. You don't have one thing that you do. And I always say this, just throughout my own career of playing offense, it's important to have one thing that you can hang your hat on. People always say, well, how do you fix this team's running game or this, whatever? And I go, find one thing. It's like Curly from City Slickers. Remember Curly from City Slickers? He goes, the key to life is one thing. And then he drops dead, right? Well, for me, football, the key to life is one thing. Find me one thing that we do well. And then we can change it up with formations and motions and shifts. But we just run that one thing, make it look like 6 things to the defense. But give me that one thing. Let me build my identity in that. And then all of a sudden I say, hey, man, let's run some play action off that. Let's learn play pass off that, run action, play action, whatever. But all of a sudden I can start building on something that I can hang my hat on. A tenet that I can hang my hat on. And right now I look at the Kansas City Chiefs. I go, there is not one thing I can point to that I say, hey, man, they're really good at this.
Well, 2 things. First of all, of course I remember Curly from City Slickers, the actor Jack Palance. He won the Oscar for that role. And by the way, spoiler alert, give somebody a heads up if you're going to talk about somebody saying a line and then dropping dead, Mark. I mean, I understand we're talking football here, but still, I mean, you gotta have your head on a swivel here if you're listening to Mark Schlereth. My gosh.
Right.
So Okay, so you're concerned about the Chiefs more than the Ravens. I would get that too, especially because the Chargers are sitting there 3-0, having beaten every single team in the division. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.